from the Buddhist point of view, the emotions is not really bad and not really good. It is just neutral, you know? But when we think about emotion, sometimes we have a sense of tendency in our mind, or we have emotions treated as quite bad and negative, and that simply brings another negative, energy to our head or our heart. So first of all, we have to look at our emotions, and we cannot really escape away from these emotional, compositions or emotional formation right away, because we are life now, and first of all, we are our own body. We focus on our body, so there is a sense of self or aliveness inside of us. This is how, and this is where we define ourselves. For example, myself, my name is Nuptul, and blah blah blah. So we have to talk about I was born in this. I I like this. I don't like this, and so many things that begins from our self. So this self, the body is the formation or the composition of the 6 elements, we call it. Basically, we have a 4 element, but this is called Kam Duktengi Lu, meaning that the 6 elements, compounded by the composition of the 6 element, and such the element of earth, element of water, element of fire, element of wind, and element of consciousness, right? So element of space. So these are called 6 elements, whereas all other element, external element such as tree or rocks or those consists of maybe 4 elements or some certain element, but it does not really consists of consciousness as we do, as all the moving beings like us we do. So since we have this element of consciousness that is born within this physical body, and we have to take care of it, so we seem suffer, we seem struggle from day-to-day life because we do not know how to take care of our emotions in a way we do not, take care of our pet, in your garden, or in a way we do not know how to take care of your children. So when we do not know how to take care of our children, and then children start to create trouble, then that trouble is not for children, that trouble is for you. And the pet start to create a trouble, because that trouble is not only for pet. Maybe for the pet is a fun, but the trouble for the owner, right? Likewise, now the emotion that is running up and down in our mind streams is like our pet. But if we do not know how to take care of it, it seems having a fun, but later on, it will give us a trouble. Because that is ourselves. There is a sense of aliveness and cognizer inside of us as the one who perceives or one who experiences all the troubles or pleasure or the happiness or whatsoever it's called. So the natural tendency of our human behavior or the human's mind, we tend to against the emotions. Let's say when we get angry, when we are upset, the first thing that comes to our mind is that I need to control. Please calm down. You have to control yourself. We often do this. So for the time being, for the moment, the controlling is okay. But I think for the long run, it is not okay, absolutely not okay for controlling, because controlling is not okay. So what we need to do, we need to be friend with them, with the emotions, and let it free. Controlling, it means like you are suppressing it, you are holding it, you are really, giving a lot of pressure and tensions on your emotions, and that is not a nice thing. And emotion tend to struggle and tend to have a lot of pressure in it, and then it would not be so peaceful. But again, emotion is not separate than us. The perceiver or the experiencer is ourselves, right? So what we need to do is we need to look at the emotions itself, and instead of controlling, suppressing, we have to make a friendship with the emotions. Friendship, how do we make a friendship with the emotion? First of all, we need to recognize. We have huge capacity to recognize our emotions. But the habit with us is that we do not really actualize them in practice. So that is our failure. This is our fault. And so the great meditators such as like Milarepa and Gamboba and those great teachers, and how they became a warrior in a spiritual realm, is because they overcome and they won over emotional struggle, because they recognized, they knew the consequences of the emotions and how emotion it works in our day-to-day life and how it works in our mind, and then based on that they actually actualize them in their practice, day-to-day practice, and that actually transform them and change them in the different forms of the body and different forms of the mind and different forms of the speech. So this is where we can see, and that's why they look very happy, and they look so different than the ordinary people. But we do, as ordinary people, many of us recognize the emotion, but we did not recognize, fully only one perspective, one part. We just know it is anger, which is not good. It makes me feel bad. Or it's a jealousy. It doesn't seem, pleasant. It makes me feel very bad. Or we just have this much, and we don't really look at the root, the origin of the emotion itself, emotional, activity itself. So first of all, we need to recognize. And second, we need to take care of it. The taking care and recognition, two things is very important. So now question is, how do we take care of the emotions? That's the one thing. For example, the moment when you get upset, the first second you are very happy, and the second second will be very upset by any circumstances, under influences of any circumstances. So what will we do? So we have immediate reactions upon your emotions, your thoughts. So that is the very critical and a crucial point where we really have to be aware about. Because we don't just want to be like a mad people. The mad people, they do not really have a capacity to, give themselves a space, because they just react upon their emotions. If they think something, they will just say it. Or if they feel like walking, they will just walk. Or they feel like playing, they will just play. And as they are just completely out of awareness, whatever pops up here, they will just do. See? So we have to, we have a capacity to recognize that part and recognize that a space in yourself, and then now our responsibility is to give sense of the moment, just little moment, space to ourselves. When you get angry, try not to react immediately, to your emotions, and just give a little bit of space, and that is we can call calmness. Just calm. I think it is difficult to calm down when you are really in that situation, when you are really in hurry, when you are really in anger, and when you are really in this emotional disturbance. It is really difficult to calm down. But just habitualize, give them some space 1 time, 2 times, 3 times, 4 times, and eventually, then we become much easier. So that is the very beginning of the first step of befriending with your own emotions, instead of treating your emotion as a bad thing.